Hi, it's Allison DuBois. Thank you for joining us today. Today I want to introduce you to one of my very best friends, Tom McMullen. He is a world-class astrologer, a real man of the stars. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about the difference between astrology and mediumship, because I've had people write in and ask me what the difference is. So we're going to clear that up for you. So I'm going to let Tom talk a little bit about what he does, what his process is, and how it can help people in their daily lives. So.
Thank you, Allison.
You're welcome.
I am Tom McMullen. I've been an astrologer for over 30 years. And to understand what astrology is, it's very different from someone who's a medium. We do very different things. We both do readings. Readings are, helping you with your life, your direction in life in certain areas. Mine is specifically as an astrologer is I take your chart, all the information when you were born, your birth date, your time of birth, and where you were born, city and state, and create what's called an astrological birth chart. And within that, I study it and will spend an hour with you to tell you what you brought into this life from the past life of where you just left. And it comes in with what we call karma. And so you'll bring in the story you have already been living out by being born into the family. And the family will represent a lot of dynamics of what your past looked like as you started over again. And then you move through it into your teens, 20s, and start what we call the relationship karma, and start looking at what your old relationship profile looked like. And then as we move on in our life, we find that a lot of these things don't work anymore, and that we need to move on and add to what we have been and bring in new things that are developing as we go. And I can give you all that information in just an hour to give you the story of your soul on its journey. That's what I do.
Well, and I have to say, Tom's run my chart every year for my birthday. It's my favorite birthday present. I like to know what's coming in the next year, and it really does help to know about the karma that we bring in and basically keep reliving lives until we get it right. And I feel like this is the last one for me. I'm just really enjoying where I'm at. But you had told me, that I had been famous before and there was persecution involved, and that I keep coming back, basically being a public figure and learning how to let go of kind of the attachment to the persecution or carrying that with me. And that's really helped me, because you're very accurate.
Thank you.
And Tom, I've known for many years, and he's fascinating. So if you want to book a reading with him, I suggest you go to his website. He's the best, and it just makes you feel like everything really makes sense, and there's a reason for why you are the way that you are. And then to take that information into account and see how you can, even if it doesn't feel natural, kind of modify your energy to do what doesn't feel natural but is the right thing to do.
Yes.
And so that's been very helpful for me.
Thank you, Allison.
You're welcome. And so for me, I'm a medium, and the difference between an astrologer and a medium is that mediumship has to do with talking to dead people. So where Tom is reading the stars and planets, I'm actually having a conversation with the dead. I call myself a glorified secretary to the dead. I don't like my clients to feel nervous when they talk to me. I'm like, think of me as a secretary or a friend with a little bit more insight in this field. I communicate with them through sound. They talk to me. They show me things. They make me smell perfume or cigars so I can articulate that. Sometimes they'll write the name of a person in my mind so that I'll say it out loud to the client, and it's usually the name of the person that's passed or somebody that they're with on the other side. So I find mediumship and astrology, even though we're in the same kind of ethereal realm, are two very different ends of the spectrum, in that I'm dealing with more death aspects, and Tom is teaching you how to live your best life.
That's exactly right.
So
the goal is to understand that we are all very unique as individuals in our lives, and to discover what that is, because most of us give our power to everyone else to determine who we are. And that's the goal of what I'm trying to do, is to get you to stop doing that, so you look at yourself from the inside out instead of the outside in. And it's a very different perspective. But it's also, I've experienced with wonderful readings I've had with Allison that she has done for me. There have been things that go on in my life that I'm concerned about, that I keep to myself. And I remember when I first met Allison, and I had a very big issue about something I was worried about. And then she brought my grandmother to me, and my grandmother told me exactly what it was I was worried about, and said that it would be okay and that everything was fine. I can't tell you how much peace that gave to me, knowing that there are those that we love that have passed, that are on the other side, that are trying to help us. And Allison is an amazing conduit of that type of information. I highly recommend her.
Oh, thank you. And now you see why we're such good friends. Okay. Well, thank you for being here today, and thank you for tuning in. And I hope that we were able to bring some clarity to your life on what astrologers and mediums are. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe.